Hunter, the founder of the Institute for Functional Health Coaching, and I want to talk to you today about the 7 essentials for optimal health. This is what I coined a functional approach to health coaching, where we consider the client from head to toe. We're not just talking about exercise. We're not just talking about what they're eating. We're talking about everything that a human being with a heartbeat needs to optimize in order to have a healthy life. So let's start with the topic of whole food. Now, a lot of people say that we should start with food 100%. That's the first place we begin. So that's why this is our first topic of conversation. So whole food, in my opinion, is food that looks like what it is. So we're talking about vegetables and fruits, organic whenever possible, non-GMO, humanely raised meats, soaked gluten-free grains and seeds. Now, I'm a firm believer that we need to avoid all gluten because I've seen firsthand and through experience with clients in almost 7.5 years that gluten can set up a highly toxic inflammatory response in the body. It's been proven over and over again that we just don't all have those enzymes needed to process gluten. So many times people can be following all 7 essentials perfectly, except the one thing they just can't seem to get rid of is gluten. And that could be the only thing holding them back from optimal health. Now, gluten is not the only thing out there that can cause inflammation, but that is the one thing that I like to really focus in on. And many other things are also very cross-reactive with gluten, which means that they set up a response in the body that's very similar to what gluten does to the body as well. So sometimes you have to take things even deeper than just these simple whole food concepts here. But if we can begin to get our clients even moving in the direction of eating whole food and away from a standard American diet, in a way that doesn't stress them out even further, we're already one step ahead from what most health coaches are doing. So let's go into stress perception, which in my opinion is the #1 area to focus on when we're working with our clients. So they could be eating everything 100% right, even gluten-free, soy-free, grain-free, dairy-free, whatever is best for them. But if it's stressing them out to eat that way, it's actually probably doing more harm than good. Because what happens when we are in a heightened state of stress is that the digestive enzymes in our gut tend to just dissipate, or they will decrease significantly and cause problems with digesting the food that we are able to eat, whether it's healthy or not. Since stress is hard to reduce or manage in daily life these days, I like to call this stress perception. We need to actually help our clients change how they perceive stress, help them to understand that stress can actually be very helpful in their life today. That alone can make a difference in how someone reaches goals and how they feel about their life. Now, I call this safe movement. Other people call it exercise. Exercise is a stressor to the physical body. That's one thing that many clients don't understand. So when we ask them, what do you do to relieve stress? They may say, well, I exercise. But what they may not be understanding is if their body is in a state of a significant emotional or physical stress, that the exercise that they're doing can be making things worse. So I like to call this safe movement. Safe movement is moving within the means of what our body can handle for where we are physically and mentally at that time. Whether that means they are under some significant financial stress, maybe they're under a relationship situation that's causing them great stress. When we throw in excessive exercise, we're just adding to that body burden. But it is important to continue to move our body in a way that feels good for us. So maybe just walking is the best way to move someone's body if they're under other significant stressors. Now, fun is one of the elements, in my opinion, it's because no one's having enough fun. It's almost like we cross a specific age and we think, well, that's enough. I'm no longer a child. I don't have to have fun anymore. Adults need fun too. Things that don't involve electronics are mind-numbing and that bring people together. It actually can increase the joy in your marriage and your relationships with your children and your friends. So consider, what do children do to have fun? And maybe find something that you can mimic or adult up just a little bit and do the same thing. As we know, sleep is when the body repairs itself and starts to recover from the things that we've done to it throughout the day. So many people are confused about what adequate sleep really is. So cleaning up sleep habits can make all the difference in the world in someone's health. And this could be something as simple as covering up the green light on the smoke alarm, or turning the alarm clock around and covering that light so that our melatonin can regulate itself and that it's not being disrupted from artificial light through our eyelids. Addressing old traumas is also another really important one that I've just recently added to how I think we need to be working with our clients. Now, this doesn't mean that we want to take over and become a counselor or a psychologist for these clients. That's not what we're meant to do, and it's outside our scope of profession. But it is important that if the client is doing so much work on themselves and doing so many things right, and they're still struggling with a lot of emotions, or they're not feeling well, or they have some trapped pain, that addressing old traumas might be a place that you lead them. We all have unresolved emotional baggage, but when we're not getting well and not feeling our best through basic changes, this is a topic that might be worth exploring. And again, whenever we're practicing a functional coaching approach, we're sharing resources of experts and by experts that have already done this work. This is not something that we have to learn. We don't have to learn how to help someone through trauma. We simply have to understand that it's an important piece of helping clients get well and lead them in the right direction. Spirituality. So no matter what a person's belief is, knowing there's something or someone greater than ourselves can greatly benefit our health. Now, this can be a little bit of a sensitive subject. So what I like to do is I just like to ask a very simple question on the intake form that I provide for my coaches to use with their clients on what spirituality means to that person. And they usually can guide us in the right or wrong direction on whether or not they want to go deeper with it. And again, the other thing that we can do is just simply support whatever their belief is, maybe help them find some resources outside of what they've already been doing that can help them see things differently. So remember, if you're considering being a health coach, you don't want to step into that cookie cutter approach that I'm always talking about. We want to stand out. We want to really make a difference and do the investigative approaching that comes with functional health coaching. So the Institute for Functional Health Coaching is opening up this September. If you're watching this after that time frame, then we are open and running, and I encourage you to check us out. Thanks so much for listening to this training, and reach out, as always, if there are any questions whatsoever. My motto is that we never leave questions unanswered and that no need ever goes unmet. You can reach me at support@carmenhunterhealth.com.